Sponsored by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence.
Is the full-frontal hug appropriate in this day and age? Or is the side hug the alternative we need in these trying times? This and much more on today's episode of Messy Mondays. Forever. Why might one want to avoid full-frontal hugs? It might seem like an odd question, but I will ask you an even odder one. Have you ever actually thought, just for a second, about what a hug is? Because really, when you think about it, when you really just break down what is happening during a hug, it is kind of a weird thing. And now, all of my front will touch all of your front. And then we squeeze. Obviously, you're not supposed to think about it like that, but the fact remains. If you just objectively watched two people hug with zero cultural context, that is what's happening. Just two people squeezing themselves together. And they're not even married. But you see, a hug, it's more than a physical act. I think it's understood that culturally it's meant as a way of saying,
we feel comfortable being in each other's bubbles.
Because we all have our precious bubbles. It's a space around us we normally don't want people infringing on. Like what Josh is doing here. I don't like this at all. You might talk to someone you just met at this distance. You might talk to a good friend at this distance. And you might talk to your best friend at this distance. It's all about how safe you feel with the other person. So that's what makes this tricky, because a hug, it's sort of it's a silent agreement between two people that they are on the same level of comfortableness with each other. This is why when someone hangs on to a hug for too long, it's weird.
You have betrayed the implicit agreement.
And I think the sins of this man go without saying as well. This is my friend Sarah. Oh, I'm a hugger. Come on, I'm a hugger, everyone. I'm a hugger. Which leads us to the side hug.
Le side hug.
Look, we have covered the side hug on this channel, okay? We've made the jokes many times, haha. Much like the side hug itself, the joke requires very little effort. But today, I really want to talk about the merits of the side hug. Not as a joke, but as a serious idea. I'm really serious. I'm not being sarcastic. Because you might be someone living in this hugging society and you're just not comfortable with full frontals.
Looks like someone wasn't side hugged enough as a child.
The side hug is the hug for people who don't want to hug. It's like vegan cheese. It's not really that great, but at least you can kind of eat pizza. Hey, I realize this is like a required cultural ritual, so I'm gonna do the bare minimum to get by. And that's why I think the point of hugging in general is that you're not supposed to think about the hug. And you need both parties involved in the hug to not be thinking about the hug in order for it to be a successful hug. Yeah. If you have to think about the hug, or if you're not comfortable with hugging, or if you're just not sure if the other person is comfortable with it, just side hug. Less reward, but much less risk. Again, like vegan cheese. Less risk for the animals who will be killed. But not less risk for you. But if you're lactose intolerant, it's much less risk for you. It's basically just extending the arm out, then bring it back. In and out, quick, very quick. In fact, you can even treat it like it's an upper back pat. Not lower back, you sicko, upper back pat. And if they extend their arm out, perfect side hug. Or they may turn the shoulder if you're lucky, and if they turn the shoulder, that side hug has now become a full frontal. But only if you want it to be. If you don't, well then, things are just awkward again. I think the main thing is just to be aware of the comfort of the other person at all times. And if you don't feel comfortable hugging someone, don't worry about it. You're not required to invite someone into your personal space just because everyone else is doing it. Come on, Dad, it was just one drink. I didn't even want to drink it, but everyone else was doing it and I didn't want to look like a loser.
Oh, so if all your friends side hugged straight off a cliff, you'd do that too, huh?
No, I wouldn't, but if it were a full frontal hug, I might consider it, because I long for physical connection that you do not provide! But just you know, keep in mind, most hugging is meant to be innocent. And unless you're like a hormonal teenager or a creepy old man, full frontal, it's fine to do, okay, most of the time. God knows we need more personal connection in this crazy world. But maybe not so much physical contact. Maybe a little less of that would be good. Boy, hugging is such a conundrum. Look, do I recognize that I've probably ruined hugging for you forever by psychoanalyzing it to this degree? Yes, but I don't know, okay? Sorry. Sorry about it. Do you need a hug? Is that what you need, a full frontal? Side, a little vegan cheese, maybe an upper back pat that leads to a side? Maybe a side that leads to a full? Come on, you, me, right now? Few times in my life have I been so moved that I couldn't help but hug the person nearest to me. But when Josh showed me BlimeyCow.com for the first time after he redesigned it using Squarespace, I had to embrace my brother. What would you have done? Guys, Squarespace makes it so easy to build a website that even my brother can do it. Hey. Not only is building a website simple, but maintaining it is as well. They're an all-in-one platform, which means that they do everything you need to keep your site updated and looking great. Look, I know you have a project of some kind that needs a home on the internet, and a space that you control. Not your social media where you have to pray to the gods of Silicon Valley in the hopes that they allow people to see the stuff you create. No. Your own space on the web. But Squarespace is great because they integrate with social media so that when you post to your website, it'll post to your social media accounts as well. And if you want to run an email campaign, Squarespace can do that too. Plus, you can easily look at your site traffic. No matter what kind of site you need, Squarespace has beautiful templates that will inspire you to be creative and show off your work. Bottom line, if you like being creative, you need a place to put all of the things you create. So get started with Squarespace. Do what we did. Head over to squarespace.com for a free trial, and then when you're ready to launch, go to our link squarespace.com/cow, because there you're gonna get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/cow. Yeah. All right. I was like, my hands up. I was like, yeah. I looked at the camera like, what the?
All right, bye.
See ya. Yeah.
Okay.
That was really funny.